What's going on, everybody? This is Patrick from Porter's Unboxings, as you know. Guys, while I am watching SmackDown from 2015, Roman Reigns versus Luke Harper, Brody Lee, and speaking of Brody Lee, we're going to get into this conversation about Chris Jericho. And he might have secretly signed with WWE. And we're going to be talking about that today. And today is my birthday, so you will see some presents being transferred to me. I got this Bills hoodie yesterday. I got these Bills pants. It says Buffalo on it. And the Bills. And I also got that fantastic Matt and Nick Jackson t-shirt from AEW shop from my mom, and the Darby Allin shirt. And I also got Backlash 2002. Finally, I have this in my collection. It's brand new. Never been watched. Even though that it's out of the plastic. But still, yeah. So, has Chris Jericho signed with WWE? Is this like the Cody Rhodes debacle that he signed at WrestleMania 38 about, like, in January he signed? Is this when Punk signed a contract in 2023 without any of us knowing? Because a lot of events were in Chicago. A lot of events. And Survivor Series is coming up. And Punk signed, like, probably in September of 2023, and we just didn't see him until November. Could this be the same thing with Chris Jericho? He hasn't been on now. Like, I haven't been watching AEW recently because of. I think I watched AEW on Wednesday because of the Darby Allin thing. I didn't watch Wrestle Dream, which was in my hometown because I didn't want to pay the $50. I'm gonna wait for that on Blu-ray. I'm waiting for stuff, but still, Chris Jericho has not been seen on AEW television in a long time. So, does this mean he secretly signed with WWE? Like CM Punk, like Cody Rhodes. Could we see Chris Jericho at Survivor Series, or this Saturday at Saturday Night's Main Event? Could Jericho be Cena's last opponent? Could Edge be Cena's last opponent? Yeah, I know with injury time that Edge is not medically cleared to sign with WWE, but we've seen loopholes. Not with Tony fucking Khan, but same thing. Has Jericho signed with WWE? Could you imagine the feel at Survivor Series at the end of the night, just like they did with CM Punk? To break the walls down, or Judas? That's the other thing, too. What theme song will he use? Judas or Break the Walls? And these vignettes on Raw, or like the vignettes. Could that be Jericho? I don't know because there's 4 people. It could be Jericho. I mean, it could just be the Vision with Brock Lesnar for Survivor Series. But Jericho versus Drew McIntyre, the rematch from AEW, Cody versus Chris Jericho for the undisputed title. Last run in WWE has to be with Chris Jericho, right? Right? He has to lose the dad bod. He has to lose that. Please lose the dad bod. So, Chris Jericho versus McIntyre. Chris Jericho versus Punk. Jericho versus the new guys like Carmelo Hayes, The Miz, Ray Phoenix, again, Penta, Dominic Mysterio. Now, could we just be seeing him sign like Chris Jericho, like they did with Cody Rhodes? Like Vince McMahon went to Cody's house like in January of 22, but he didn't come back until WrestleMania 38. Could Triple H be swerving us? Because, like we said, Hall of Fame run. Just one more run with Jericho in WWE. Have Jericho or Adam Copeland, Edge, be Cena's last opponent. Walter's returning too. Might be returning in the vignettes. I don't know. But could Jericho be Cena's last opponent? Hear me out. Hear me out. Jericho is a 9-time Intercontinental Champion, right? Right? Yeah. Cena, Dominic Mysterio. Cena wins. Jericho comes out. Code breakers him. Holds up the championship. Cena, Jericho, Saturday night's main event for the December 13th, Cena's final match. And we all know Cena, and we all know people don't win their retirement matches. I mean, why the fuck would Goldberg win? But besides that, they don't win. Jericho wins the Intercontinental Championship for a 10th time. And Cena's career is done. And Jericho holds the Intercontinental Championship for a 10th time, but holds it up beyond a fallen Cena. It just writes itself. Or could he just be in for the world title with CM Punk? But has Jericho signed secretly with the WWE? That's the question. That is the big question. I mean, could we hear rumblings tonight about it? Like, Seth Rollins didn't have a match for WrestleMania. and we're all like, oh, the American Nightmare. This is an American Nightmare that I'm not on the card. Cody Rhodes. John Cena even did the Walls of Jericho on AJ Styles at Crown Jewel. I forgot about that. Could that be happening? I don't know. But has Jericho signed with WWE? I'm going to say yes. I'm saying yes, and I'm locking it in right now. If Jericho has signed, it's going to be Cena, Dominic at Survivor Series. Jericho comes out, wants the IC title. Even though that he is a mainstream guy and is a top championship contender for the world title always, he wants a main card championship, just like he did with the United States title back in 2017. Back in 2016, I'm sorry. But yes, Jericho comes out, Codebreaker Cena, Saturday night's main event, Jericho wins the IC title from Cena. Screw Walter. Up for this video. But Jericho signs with WWE, Codebreaker Cena, last match. Cena versus Jericho. It writes itself. Because in December, Jericho lost to Cena for the world title. December, Armageddon. Cena was world champion. He came back in Boston. At Survivor Series 2008. He defeated Jericho, and Jericho never got his rematch. I think because he left. Yeah, he came back in 2012 and he was feuding with Punk, and Cena was feuding with Lesnar. And then Cena was feuding with Randy Orton. And then Jericho was feuding with Bray Wyatt. And then he came back in 2017, feuded, or came back in 2016 with the Festival of Friendship. So I don't think Cena and Jericho never faced again. And I'm not talking about on Raw, SmackDown, or anything. I'm talking about on pay-per-view. This could be a good segue to get Cena the championship, spark him to the moon, and have a 1-month reign as he did with the United States Championship, just knocking him out of the park, open challenges until he gets to Jericho. Walter is not returning to face Cena. It's Jericho. And when I know more news about this, you guys will too. Has Jericho secretly signed with WWE? When I know more news, and you guys will too. Today is my birthday, ladies and gentlemen. And also Monday Night Raw. Penta Rusev, number one contender for the IC title. Penta's going to win. And then Dominic is going to use his dirty little tricks to win again. And Penta's out of the IC title hunt for a while. And then here comes Cena. It writes itself, ladies and gentlemen. Penta loses. He's like, I have to go to SmackDown to be with my brother because that's where we were shining in AEW as a tag team. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong that Penta's gonna go to SmackDown real soon because he can't get the IC title off Dominic. Dominic's gonna win. Here comes Cena. Perfect opportunity. Toe breaker to Cena. Saturday night's main event. Cena, Jericho, and Jericho wins his 10th title. 10th IC title. This has been Patrick from Porter's Unboxings, as you know. And you'll see more presents today after I get home from my program today. All right. This has been Patrick from Porter's Unboxings, as you know, and I'm out. Peace.